Hi, this episode I want to talk about, no, not about the coolest collectibles ever. No, I want to talk about religious icons. Is Qui-Gon Jesus here a religious icon? Well, he's a jinn, and a jinn's a demon. This guy looks like a jinn, doesn't he? And what's that new series of movies? I made a almost $5 investment from a secondhand store. I'm trying to get you the price. I made it I can't do it. Anyway, the point is, I paid $3.95 for this and whatever the tax was. It's a 12-inch Barbie doll size Star Wars. They had a menagerie of these things in the store, and they were all really cheap. But when I saw this one, I said it's Jesus. So I said I could do an episode on this because this is a religious icon. This is a false icon. And what's different about the world we live in today, which is the whole impetus of this episode, the whole pushing force of this episode, is look at this window box figure. Now, I know Star Wars fans are going to know, hey, you took some of his clothes off and stuff. I'll get to that. But what I have in the box here is a guy in the desert that looks like a pained Jesus. I took his pants off. Here's his stuff. He had a poncho on like Clint Eastwood, Boba Fett, whatever. And he had boots, and he had pants, and a bunch of plastic shit that doesn't matter. But I took his, don't worry, we're gonna take him out of the box, don't drool. But no, this is a religious icon. Now think about this. Think about how many Virgin Marys you see enshrined in a little thing. Not only in people's yards, but also in glass cases, in museums, places of worship. Have you ever been to Europe? Do you have any idea how many old churches are there? Full of glass cases, full of ornate religious sculptures? Well, we live in a different world now. And in a world where a religious icon was once an act of devotion, now an act of devotion means nothing. Forget about me trying to tie the whole thing to Jesus through him. I'm just doing that for fun. But the real point of this episode is to show you that mass production and industrialization has created an assembly line of false gods. It was spoken against this. False idols, graven images, industrialization, mass reproduction. Am I saying we should go back to the Stone Age? No. I know we have to take and make the best of technology and still kind of understand our place in the grander scheme of things and not hide it from everybody. Let us all have time to catch up as we're ready. There's lots of people wanting. Let's let their thinking develop with QAnon by giving them little clues so people start to think about stuff that they normally wouldn't. Get it? Memes, memetics. But this, I affirm and attest to you, is a religious icon. See, look at this. I wish I could show you. It doesn't read, but it has, it's so gross. It has dust all over it. It just sat in a store collecting dust. And there he is, Liam Neeson. He's the guy that was in Star Wars that they were like, yeah, he's really cool, huh? Yeah, but don't worry, he's not the guy. And then he gets stabbed in the side. He gets stabbed in a weird place, not unlike Jesus with the Lance of Longinus. He gets speared through. Yeah, it's almost like a Jewish, again, it's a Kabbalistic thing. It's like saying, Qui-Gon Jinn, you're not the savior, you're not the real guy. Just get him out of here. He looks like Jesus, but you're not the guy. So let's see what Qui-Gon Jesus here has. For starters, he comes in a box. Ooh, big unboxing. Are you getting wet between the taint? Are you beginning to wink? Because are you sweating those kinds of special smell? Never mind, I'm going to shut up now, I'm being gross. Okay, so let's make this a little bit more presentable, more fun to look at. Okay, that'll work. Okay, so we got Qui-Gon Jesus. I pantsed him, right? And then here's his stuff. So I wanted to show you that religious icons, how many times, like I said before, just one more time to reiterate, how many times have we seen a Virgin Mary or statue of Jesus encased in glass? You can even get dimensional wall hangings of like a little shrine of Jesus, Mary holding the baby Jesus and stuff like that, or the older adult, dying Jesus and the crowns of gold around him, and it's in a little glass box, not unlike this. But I just thought that this figure was so interesting because all I have to do is pants him and take his belt and lightsaber thing, his lightsaber kit, and then look. So I thought, I'm not going to do a mockery of Jesus beyond this. I don't think people appreciate it, and I don't either. But anyway, you see what I mean? Look at his face. I mean, I guess it was supposed to be battle-ready Jedi Liam Neeson, Qui-Gon Jinn the demon advisor, the Jinn, the demon advisor and guardian steward of the Omen, the demon seed, Anakin Skywalker. What does that name mean? Something in Kabbalah. So anyway, I know Aldebaran and all the other planets mean shit in Star Wars. So anyway, there's Qui-Gon, there's a crucified Jesus icon. So anyway, it's not, all you have to do is take his pants off. You got a really cool Jesus standing for some asshole who wants to mock Jesus, or, you know, whatever God you know means a lot to you. I'm not here to hurt your feelings about it. So maybe I'll just stop this part of it now. But do you get the idea that icons are mass produced to make them meaningless? Do we recognize a true act of devotion? Do you realize that it was considered, not in an Eastern traditional sense, although they have the same thing, that it was considered a meditation? If you were going to create a religious icon, you would go into fasting. You wanted to commune. You wanted to get like in harmony, I guess, with the Creator or whatever. In the case of Christian religious icons, they were acts of devotion. They were labored over. And certainly if you've seen some of the Asian artifacts, these wood carvings or clay or whatever, I think they're wood, and they're just lacquered like the Chinese lacquered all the different gods of Taoism when the Chinese took it over. And even before then, there's these beautiful lacquered statues with glass eyes. They're like devotional objects. I mean, these were, people put their lives into it. So now what do we have? Beware false idols. We have mass-produced false idols in the form of Qui-Gon Jesus here, who you know, sounds kind of, you know, he's Qui-Gon Jinn. A Jinn is a demon. And who does Luke Skywalker learn everything he knows from? An imp. A little green evil imp man. I got a Yoda. Hold on. There's a little, here's a Yoda. I don't want to make it all blurry because it's going to be a waste of time. So here's a Yoda. This is Luke's demon master, a little hunched over little green imp. That's a mashup of like a Kabbalah, like an old little Kabbalah teacher, rabbi guy, and a Confucian, you know, Chinese, you know, Taoist master guy. But really what he is a demon, all right? So, Master Yoda, tell me, my demon master, tell to me all of your ancient wisdom so I can be what? A Jedi, again, going into the Kabbalah stuff. Other people do it better than me. But more than that, he becomes a dark wizard. He learns the ways of the Force. What does he learn from this little demon? Magic and occultism. This guy goes right away. Right? Don't they just get him in like, oh, cool, Liam Neeson, dead. I mean, I don't have a Liam Neeson thing. Everybody else does. But they tell you who to like, and he's one of those guys. Look at the battle-ready Liam Neeson. It looks like Jesus. It's not an insult. I mean, he's manly. He's Jewish. It looks like Jesus. Look at his hands. His hands, like, I'm not going to do it because it would be so crude. But look, you could crucify, I could tack him up there, right? I could put my big stapler and go cha-chung, cha-chung, and do his feet together and make Jesus. But anyway, let's stop being blasphemous here, maybe. Not that I'm so touchy about those things or can't appreciate a good joke. What else can we say about this? It's a religious icon. Where's the box for that thing? I put it here somewhere. I can't reach it now. The box is too far away and I don't want to leave this. But anyway, look, it's a window. And inside is the false icon. Because think about it. When you buy stuff, why don't you buy just the thing? They say so people can't see it, to put the codes on it, to advertise on the box. But a lot of times people buy this stuff. They buy these Star Wars icons, and they don't ever take them out. How do we know this? Because this is old. This came from the Phantom Menace. That's why I wish I still had the box. I threw it way too far. But this is from the Phantom Menace. And it is old, and I paid $3.95 for it, you know, before I take it up to the register. So, you know what I mean. So, it's a false idol. Why are you paying tribute to this? People work hard for these pennies. What did they cost originally? The price was on the box. I think originally it said KB Toys, $30. That was their price tag new, right? Or maybe that was their clearance price tag because they went out of business. But anyway, I made a $4 investment, not in Star Wars, but in your education about the thing that you love so much. That's why you're watching this Qui-Gon Star Wars video. Qui-Gon Jesus video. But there you go. Jesus the action figure. I can do my thing where I can make a commercial. I'm not going to do a commercial. It's mocking him, but I mean, it just looks so much like Jesus. He even has a hair. Or one of the, was it Andy Gibb from the 70s? Remember him? Ha, 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 stay alive. Yeah, on Bespin. Wait, that's the Cloud City, isn't it? No, on the desert city of Jakanoff. Come back to Earth, back to reality. So Luke Skywalker has a demon master who is a wise and ancient master, kind of like Aleister Crowley's lamb. For those of you aware who that is, Aleister Crowley used to talk to a little demon in his mind because he was a nutbag, and he said the little demon he talked to was a little gray imp with a giant head that looks sort of like a California raisin or a Martian or something. But anyway, if you put pointy ears on it, it's like Yoda. So Aleister Crowley used to talk to Lamb, and we know that George Lucas definitely knows who Aleister Crowley is, and he made Yoda. I don't know if Yoda is supposed to be Yoda. I always throw those two together, but I don't know if that's really a great reference to put Yoda and Yoda together. But anyway, Yoda's like E.T. He's a little demon imp that teaches you about magic, magical powers and stuff. They say it's a Martian in E.T. and it's about love and this and that. But in Star Wars, Yoda is this little monster. I know what Lucas always says. He has good answers for stuff. And I'm not saying that they're not true, but there's also more to it than just that. Lucas said Yoda represents the frog, where he appears to be one thing, but he's really a prince. But instead of being a prince, he's a wise. Yoda's not a prince that Luke Skywalker has to kiss. It's like Yoda's like, I'm a weird jerk. If you tolerate me enough, and you know, I'll teach you the ways of a wizard. Basically, I mean, that's what the Jedi are. They're wizards, right? And the Avengers, I said the Avengers movie, it's the wars of the gods and the wizards. Tony Stark's a technology wizard. He's a modern day wizard. He's a modern day alchemist. He has nanotechnology, all this stuff that's magic, basically. I mean, back in the olden days, all the stuff we have now, they would say it's magic. So the Avengers, think about it, they're all wizards. Even the Hulk is a guy that transforms into like a werewolf thing, anger and rage, whatever that translates into D&D, is a bugbear or half orc, or whatever you want to say. But you see what I mean? Like, I wasn't trying to really make this point, but the same symbols reoccur over and over again. And here you have occult teachings from a wicked demon. I mean, he doesn't have horns, right? But he's not exactly a little old Yiddish master or a little old Taoist master, but he does have the horns. So Luke Skywalker gets his teachings in the dark arts from a magical imp that teaches Luke Skywalker literally levitations and all this stuff. That's in the Bible. It says don't do. There's all kinds of stuff that's in that says don't do it. And Star Wars is, go read the books. There's a couple guys wrote, I don't know if it's the same book, I haven't read any of them, but I bet they're pretty great. Because when they talk about, I can't remember any of their names, but they talk about this kind of thing on YouTube, and they're the guy that wrote the books. So, yeah, I don't know, what else can I say about this? I know, it looks like kendo stuff, right? I mean, it looks like a samurai gear, and it's tied back, even more obvious than ever, especially when I take his pants off, because those guys didn't wear pants. They kind of did wear this and wear their boots, right? You ever see Seven Samurai? Yeah. So this guy's wearing his hakama, and he's got his space boots and a sword, but it's Jesus. It's Space Jesus. I don't know, maybe we'll get some more miles out of Space Jesus, but I don't want to mock. Will this thing probably stay around in my house? No, I don't know. I can't have a mockery of Jesus around my place. But you know what I mean? Like, I don't have it hanging up and like, oh, cool, man. I'm like, no, fuck you. You know, I don't like that shit. I just don't. Anyway, yeah, Star Wars is weird. You have Luke Skywalker. His dad was a dark wizard who became the Black Pope. That's Darth Vader, right? One of the top guys in the SS. Really messing with the occult. A Hitler Youth. Grows up, studies the occult stuff. Becomes, you know, a transhumanist. That's Darth Vader. And his kids, Luke Skywalker, goes out to find the ways of occultism because these Sith guys can't get along with each other, which is true. It's kind of backstabby with all these do as thou will types. It's like, when it's do as thou will, it's like you'll fuck people over if it suits you. You know, you're supposed to understand it if you're on that, like, oh, you got me good that time, and then, you know, but expect the person to get you back. It's a shitty way to live, but we're all kind of programmed to think that way. I mean, Star Wars is never supposed to end. Lucas ended it. He said, no, I ended it, it's over. So what else can I talk about? He said, well, I'll go back in time. And then he said, well, I got more movies if you like them. And he didn't like them. So now everybody's all tore up about Star Wars. But when you look in the toy aisle at the Star Wars toys nobody's buying, they are the dead icons of a religion that hasn't failed. It's being protested. People love their Star Wars and want it to continue. They want the parables of Star Wars to continue. And they kind of have an idea where they should go. But the corporation that bought them said, no, it's Bolshevik Star Wars. Star Wars is not Space Jesus. Star Wars is isolated units. Star Wars is forget about the past and kill your family. That's what Star Wars is now, because that's what the corporation paid to make it. They have all the money in the world and all the best marketing and you know, people to hypnotize your brains with, you know, all the best directors and writers and all the stuff that they know you'll love. And they're telling, and they gave it to you, and you say, I don't love this. In fact, I hate it. And Star Wars Disney says, we don't care. So they're trying to take the images. It's like a religion takeover, because Star Wars really is so important to people. So since Star Wars is important to people, the religion has been taken over by a corporation. And the corporation has changed all the sensibilities and meaning that the masses have agreed globally that Star Wars means to them and meant to them in their story, their saga of absentee fathers, and how to become one, and how to heal your family line. So Anakin Skywalker starts it, and Luke Skywalker finishes it, interestingly enough, together with Anakin Skywalker. Wisdom, songs of innocence, and songs of experience. But really, it's only when Luke has had enough experience that he can resolve things. So what do you get in the next trilogy? No growth or character development from the lead characters. We know this is supposed to be about Rey. I thought it was supposed to be about Finn, but then we find out, no, it's just really about Rey, and then everything else around Rey. Okay, but she doesn't develop or anything. She doesn't, it doesn't matter who she is. It doesn't matter if she learns how to do anything. You see what I mean? Like, the people, like people growing up can't latch on to anything with that. It's a different kind of icon. It's just like, it's a mass-produced false icon, false idols. So, not to pick on old Qui-Gon here about being a false idol, but if I had a new Star Wars thing, if I had a Cholo Ren figure around here, or Rey with the muscles that I could show you. Remember that? I had a Rey toy before. If I had a Rey toy, I could show you in a box even. If I had a Rey toy in a box, I could show you, look, this is your new icon. It says Star Wars, but that's not what's inside the box. And it's not what the meaning is anymore. The meaning of the Skywalker family, which everybody said, wait a minute, Star Wars is a Skywalker family, right? And it's like, no, we don't care about them. We'll keep one guy around, and he's the villain now. He'll be the bad guy. The male white Jew guy. He's the bad guy now. He killed his mom and dad. What a sicko. You know. He's your, there you go. There's your Skywalker legacy, and everybody else is dead. Now, they didn't plan on Carrie Fisher, I don't think, right? But I'm just kidding. But anyway, she's gone, so that really threw a kink in their works. Because we're going to give her all the woman movie and have, well, the woman can just do everything and the men just didn't measure up. Like, how much did anybody like it that Han Solo just left his family? It doesn't make any sense. The whole point was that he was a dirtbag guy that had lived and tasted and murdered other men in cold blood, that you see the moment you meet him. This guy murders people in cold blood. And then his arc is that, you know, what, he's like, I just want to die already, walks out into a plank and they stab him. Okay, I don't want to do the same thing everybody else did about Star Wars reviews for Force Awakens. How the hell can I keep all the names straight? But anyway, you get the idea. It's mass-produced false icons, false idols. Hey, pay attention to this, pay attention to this. Not any kind of, you know, any of your old traditions that may have meaning or value to you. And I say any, but you know what I mean? There's like, there's so much garbage and expounding upon it and what it means to different people, that it's exhausting. What's real to people? Well, it used to be Star Wars, but this guy doesn't mean a lot, because I got 12 inches of, what's his name? 12 inches of Liam Neeson as Qui-Gon Jesus, the evil Jinn, and it only cost me $4, baby. That's pretty good, considering this used to be like a $30 thing, and probably one time at a value of like, oh, that's the hard one to get. That's the angry crucified Jesus, the angry crucified Jesus figure. That one's got to be worth $70, right? No, that's everybody's favorite Gibb brother. He was the tallest one. You don't even know who the Gibb brothers are, do you? But anyway, you got Qui-Gon Jesus. You got Han Solo destroyed. You see what I mean? Like, everything's flipped. I don't want to turn into a thing about social engineering, but I just want to make it about religious icons. In a way, this is a religious icon, not because I made a mockery of Qui-Gon Jinn and made a mockery of Jesus as well with Qui-Gon Jesus here, but what it represents is the aisles and aisles and aisles of false idols. And Disney wanted to kill Star Wars. So this is why, and I'll wrap it up with this. This is why they're cool with it not making money. They bought it to kill it. They want to put new programs in. Star Wars was a valuable old programming that would have been easy to do right, but they didn't want to do it right. They wanted to do what they wanted with it. And if people went along with that program as a new Star Wars, then they would say, great, this is the new program. We want you to love it. But if they hate it, that was accounted for too. And so when the toy store, or the clearance aisle rather, is full of Star Wars stuff and everybody's doing YouTubes about it, and Toys R Us closed down because of deals they had with Star Wars stuff that nobody wants, nobody bought, you can understand why it's like mission achieved to Star Wars, because they look at the stuff that's not being bought and sent back and like, fuck Hasbro, who cares? But Disney is like, yes, we want Star Wars dead, and people aren't buying the idols anymore. This is a Star Wars idol, right? They should appreciate and value. This is Anakin Skywalker's first, the guy that kept him, the guy that got him to become a Jedi or whatever, right? And it's the angry version. It should be worth a lot of money. It should be worth $300 now because of all the cool stuff they did with all the Star Wars movies and how they incorporated the Force Ghost of Liam Neeson, because everybody still really likes Liam Neeson. And they just, Star Wars is a toy box. It's a toy box. And I mean that in the best possible way. You have all these toys, and that's it. You have all the guys in the elevators and the guys that hand you drinks in Star Wars land and shit, and all cool little turtle people and shit. Fine. But Star Wars is a small place, and everybody is related to each other. And Finn is Lando Calrissian's grandson, and Rey is probably Luke Skywalker's daughter, but they ruined it on purpose. So it's over now. But that's all Star Wars wanted. Just kill it. But in the meantime, if we're going to spend all this money on it anyway, also, let's get people to go along with the new programs we want. This idea of the Princess Warrior program that I talked about in other episodes, that is a Freeman Fly concept with Jamie Hanshaw, where the Princess Warrior is to militarize and defeminize women. Sound familiar? Everybody complaining about Rose Tico and Rey, the lesbian gymnast. When are we going to see Rey chalk up? I need to know. She spent the whole first movie in the desert. We didn't see her get dusty hands and chalk up. We need that for episode 9. We need at least a nod to the camera where they're doing something, and then Finn looks at Rey kind of funny because she chalks up her hands, and then she looks at Finn because she knows that he's watching her, and she winks at him, and he's like, oh, what the fuck? And that's how you know she's a lesbian. I don't have nothing against lesbians. My favorite news comes from a lesbian. I don't like when she interviews people, but I'm just saying, I'm not prejudiced against lesbians. Maybe I'm ignorant and crass. That can be changed. But I don't, what I say with love. And Rey's just supposed to be a lesbian. Just like Captain Marvel's supposed to be a lesbian. You know, like a butch lesbian that's not feminine. One of those women that wants to compete in the world of men. Fine, so be it. However, Disney wanted to kill Star Wars. They wanted the icons that you pay tribute to die. They don't want to give you anything else to fix it. Watch what I said. It's going to happen. I mean, It would be great, but I'm saying, like, people will say, I said Star Wars is dead. Are you gonna resurrect it? Are you gonna put it behind a rock and wait 3 days? 1, 2, 3. I'm back. Star Wars is back. Guess who else is back? Qui-Gon and old Anakin. I want to see the young adventures of Anakin Skywalker on TV with that kid that everybody made fun of. Put him on TV, or put him on Netflix with the adventures of Anakin Skywalker. Well, don't put him on Netflix. It's a whole CIA thing. Anyway, stop. I'm going to talk about toys. So anyway, and icons. They want to kill the icon of Star Wars. Do you understand? And they did. When they see the shelves of peg warmers go to clearance, where Ethan Van Sciver's buying case of Ticos, and I don't know if he's buying them for everybody or whatever, he's like getting them like, yeah, 99-cent Ticos, give me the whole case or whatever. So anyway, this guy's got scads of these potato figures that defeminize women, and you've seen that, you know that girl's pretty, but they put makeup under her eyes to make her have like redded eyelids. They put like mucus under, I'm kidding, they put like Vaseline under her nose. They make her hair look like shit, so she looks like one of those weird Kokeshi baby doll things. Like, they dehumanize her, and they make her look a potato sack, and they make all the other women kamikazes and bullies. And it's like, you know, women doing cool stuff doesn't have to mean hating men, like everybody said. So that's part of the agenda pushing. Let's see if we can get these women to not want to be mothers anymore, and to just want to be, you know, to get women to stop, and people to stop having babies. The guys would be saying, it's too complicated, I give up on women, I'm going MGTOW, I'm going to keep playing with Star Wars stuff. But, you know, Disney's like, no, we'll just take Star Wars away. We don't want anybody to have anything to go to. And it's not Disney, as you understand. You know who owns Disney. Read a book about Disney. The military took over Disney for World War II to make propaganda, and they never gave it back. A lot of the plans for, you know, like Disney, Epcot Center, and all the stuff that they did, that's all if you think about it, it's all military stuff. You know people who work there probably. Or, I mean, a lot of people, I mean, I know people who work there. They have all kinds of underground stuff. You can live there. You know what I mean? It's like a whole compound, and, you know, their ideas of the future. But anyway, they bought Star Wars and a lot of other things. A lot of false idols they bought up, and they're killing them. What are they going to replace them with? Well, they would have kept giving you Star Wars, but first they wanted you to know, like, Han Solo, like, the guy wanted to go. They're like, just make it lame. Have him be a deadbeat dad. He walks out into the bridge. Okay, come on, stab me already. Okay, dead. Push me over. Okay, dead. Push me over. Done. He falls into the abyss. He could come back. You never know. Darth Maul's back. Is Darth Maul's going to make a cool 12-incher, don't you think? You have spider legs or something? I think I saw a grab on, like a grab, and I'm like, oh, it looks like he has robot legs, right? Darth Maul. I know you know this already because you watched the Clone Wars and all that shit. I know Darth Maul's not dead. I don't care. The idols are dead. Star Wars, the saga of black and red. Go look at the old Lucas stuff. The colors of Star Wars weren't black and red. Star Wars became black and red when Disney bought it. Black and red and white and orange, the colors of Halloween. What the fuck's that about? It's like the colors of a bubbling cauldron. I'm being figurative and poetic, you know, in a shitty way here. Not very poetic, actually. But you get the idea. It's a real... I'm sorry, I feel like I should give you some kind of visual stimuli. And Jesus took the boots and filled it with goblets of wine. And then Hideon, the tiny imp from the old etching, whispered in his ear, here's how to fuck it all up. I'll teach you how to become a wizard. You want to learn about magic? Do you want to learn about bloodletting? You get some cool Jedi tattoos, all that stuff they say not to do. You want to do some bad stuff? Anyway, I don't know. I'm just telling you, they're icons. They're mass-produced icons, and it's everybody has their different logos. Logos, if you look it up in a dictionary, or you look it up online, it's going to say the word of God, right? No, it doesn't matter if you're atheist or not, but logos is the word of God, and it used to be a bunch of people, whether they wanted to or not, believed in God and in Christianity, and now those people are definitely being attacked, and all the things all the messages and foundations they built for teachings and shit are just being destroyed. Not that there was anything Christian in Star Wars. It's very Kabbalistic, everything about Star Wars. Like I said, there's probably some really great YouTubes about it. I should check into them before I do videos like this. It'd probably be more interesting to listen to me talk about it if I was more informed. But I know it's out there. You can find your way to it. But anyway, these are false idols, mass-produced false idols to make them meaningless. It used to be acts of devotion, labored over. People would make pilgrimages to see them, or they're more like local, I guess. Like people would have it was a really big deal. This isn't a big deal at not even $5. But think about it, like he has little joints everywhere. All of his little body parts move. He's got real hair like a wig, and he's got a fuzzy chin. No. But he's got clothes and boots. Somewhere's a lightsaber and a belt, and he had binoculars and shit. And the price tag said $30. That might have said $30 clearance, but it was only, I said I paid $3.95 for it, and then tax. So it used to be a big deal thing. Like people wanted to have them all. This secondhand, hey, we buy all your old media and we're just going to sell it back to you with credit or whatever. So you can take your records there, your CDs, your video games, all your media stuff, like Popo heads. There's like tons of Funko Pops. And they had a menagerie of these Star Wars. Some of them were neat too. I'm an artist and a sculptor, so I was looking at shit like Gamorrean Guard, and I'm like, oh my god, to have a freaking giant Gamorrean Guard for like $12. I mean, it's a horrible, ugly demon, but I could see a younger me like wasting money on that and like putting it on the top of the DVD stand or VCR or whatever with the time frame of a 12-inch Gamorrean Guard. But I was like, yeah, it doesn't mean anything anymore. The icons of Star Wars are dead. Nobody cares about the figures of them and their parables. But I was thinking about this. People play with Star Wars universe and all those stories, and they talk about America and in the UK too, as it used to be, like Christian countries. And nobody ever really played with the stories of Jesus dolls. I mean, maybe a Bible store had something like this, but probably only in recent years when it became easier to manufacture. Well, I mean, it was always easier to manufacture plastics, but not for everybody. But how come a lot of kids didn't grow up with a Jesus 12-incher to play with? As represented by Tom Selleck or Burt Reynolds or something, whoever they would have had play Jesus. Somebody with blue eyes. I'm going to go for more Tom Selleck as a Jesus type. I don't know. I'm not up on my 80s guys. Robert Redford, no. Warren Beatty, I don't know, maybe. He doesn't have the face for it. He has 2 car salesmen of a smile. I'm not going to pull off Jesus. Sorry, no Warren Beatty for Jesus. But anyway, kids didn't grow up with that. Where was, like they have army men? You can get SCAD. I remember when I was a kid, and even now till today, but when I was a kid for like 99 cents probably, you could get a bag of army men. It was like a whole platoon, and they were just green, and you play with them in a sandbox and chop them up with pliers, whatever you want to do, right? They were easy to get. How come like Bible figures are never come in plastic bags at every like supermarket checkout? Like, yeah, there's always Jesus and the apostles in a bag, or like here's a bag, like all the different Bible stories have cool monsters in them and shit. Like, oh, here's the 7 seals and the beasts and all this stuff like that. And oh, look, here's the like little plastic army men of all your like Bible stuff. I know if there was other religious teachings, I mean, like, geez, the pantheon of Chinese religious figures, of Indian religious figures, and Hinduism and all that stuff. Like, I don't know, maybe in other countries it's different, but it's really pop culture plastic bits of icons that are mass produced and at a premium. These things aren't cheap. I also happen to know about the Hot Toys. Now they probably have a Qui-Gon Jinn that's like $300. Did they ever make a Hot Toys Jesus, the King of Kings? Make him taller than all the other? Just make him a little bit cooler. Put more attention to detail. Give him glass eyes and shit. Put him like in like real, like a little cashmere, little silk robe or something. I don't know. Hot Toys Jesus. Oh, that one always appreciates some value. No. Hot Toys Buddha. No. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. But they don't care about Star Wars anymore either. I'm sorry, Liam Qui-Gon. I'm going to have to turn you into, I'm going to have to put you in an RC car. I don't have an RC car. I'm about to put you in an RC car and do, what is that movie? Unforgiven? No, that's Clint Eastwood. You know, the one where he's Taken. I'll get my girls back. I'll have him rescue Barbies when I play with dolls again. Don't worry, I'm not going to do that. Uh-oh. I think I'm going to do that. No, I'm not going to do that. I need to have Mr. McGarbage Eaty on and throw him in. Are you still here talking about Star Wars? Anyway, the age of the idols is over for Star Wars because they're in the clearance racks. And now the secondhand merchants of Star Wars, if anything, are going to go clamoring for the old shit with Luke Skywalker and C-3PO and all the old garbage cans and Bigfoot and all that and Princess Cinnabons and, you know, dirtbag with a vest and cool black guy that cheats at cards because black people steal. And I'm just kidding. Those are the stereotypes of the day. Uptight British and Nazis where they can't have German accents, so they give them cold, uptight British accents, which is probably just because they made the thing in Britain, right? Didn't they make Star Wars in Britain? And that's probably why everybody was white and what they were. If they'd filmed it someplace else, I'm sure George Lucas was the type that said, oh yeah, like just throw like everybody in here. If they filmed Star Wars in New York, whatever, you're gonna get a different background for Star Wars if Lucas had made it in like some kind of loft in New York, whatever the shit. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, false idols, dead icons, Qui-Gon doesn't matter, little Anakin doesn't matter, not memorable. Who are your memorable characters from the Phantom Menace and all that trilogy? I think Darth Maul. That's it. Who do we like? We mock everybody else. You don't like nobody else from the movies nobody liked. But there sure was a lot of toys. And when I go to the antique mall or the flea markets, everybody is trying to sell to each other sun-bleached and fading, 2000, like 1990s, 2000 plus Star Wars merch like this was. And it's in fading boxes, like the plastic's yellowing and stuff. I'm sure the toys inside are great, but it's getting pretty beat and the prices keep coming down. And with all the talking about Star Wars people are doing because of Han Solo and all the protesting people are doing because people decided Star Wars is their mountain, we can see the clearance racks and what's in the clearance racks as the old dying idols, like we could see not too long ago. It's all about, you can see what the programming that they want for the future is by what they're destroying now. They have all the money in the world to make everything just the way you like it, and we know that they could, but they don't. Why do they always fall short? It's not because there's too many hands in the pie. No, everybody gets out of the way when they know what would please everybody, what would make the most money. It's not really about that anymore. It's about killing off the old images. But in the meantime, not in the meantime, but sort of as a plus, as a bonus, or as an aside, they're like, well, let's try and see if we can put the new social engineering propaganda in with the new Star Wars stuff and the new Star Wars merch and hope people will go along with it. That'd be great if they just eat it right up. Maybe they're ready for it. But what happened is people don't like this. That's why you get 12 inches of Liam Neeson, and he's selling his sorry ass for $4, and he even has rooted pubic hair and the things I could do to his body. But now that I've confused him with Jesus and taken his pants off, I don't feel like it's appropriate to molest Liam Neeson unless I give him a haircut and make him look less like Jesus. Maybe I could do an episode. Should I do a doll haircutting episode? No, I really shouldn't, because it's a waste of your life. But I wanted to use this to serve a point. I don't know if I could teach you anything in a parable about turning Qui-Gon Jesus, the demon Jinn, into Liam Neeson Taken, into Liam Neeson Taken. And then I'm going to have to go get some Barbie clothes to put him in a blazer or whatever the hell Liam Neeson wears in Taken, right? So, anyway, you get the idea. I hope you appreciate the swampy sounds of Dagobah, the place where organic free trade chocolate is made by little Chinese Jewish wizards that put the most fabulous spells on all their confections to make the most bitter fair trade chocolate. But it's pure and it's good for you, and that shit fucks you up. Because I'm telling you, man, I remember hanging around the raw food people in the early 2000s, and those guys would get high and like buzzed on cacao. Really, man, they would they really would get like chemically, like, I don't know if it's like a coffee or whatever the hell it is. I would just get heart palpitation. But they would go crazy with this chocolate shit. Anyway, they're all creeps. David Wolf is a creep. Didn't think you're going to get that in a Star Wars video, did you? Who's David Wolf? He's the huckster that tries to sell everybody a magic bullet, which is actually a really cool little blender thing for grinding up nuts or, you know, chopping up onions into powder. So anyway, what what have we learned from this? We have learned that he is risen. How come there's no Jesus the Resurrection on back? Could I put G.I. Joe? Yeah, Jesus the Resurrection, he's back, put machine guns in his hands? No, that's somebody else's old routines. And now he's with Jesus. So I gotta wrap this up. That's enough, right? Did you really think I'd get 40 minutes of looking at a doll? I guess so. Why not, right? In sort of kind of Dayglow, with Dagobah, the heavenly intonations of Dagobah, a moldy old, a little old Asian imp that got moldy because he lives in a swamp. Was Yogi a pansex yogi? Oh, that's what it is. Yoda's a yogi. I know, they show pictures of Buddha and Yoda and everything in the officially licensed Lucas documentaries. I used to watch all that shit because I love the production design. I was like, all the cool monsters are in Star Wars. And you saw that Macquarie art and all those cool little maquettes. I used to salivate over that stuff. I wanted to do that for a job. I wanted to be a conceptual. I did do conceptual design for stuff, but nothing cool, really. I mean, I did see a couple of my things be manufactured into objects, and I'm like, oh, nobody even told me that this became a toy that comes out with the DVD. I never even bought it. I guess I should probably buy the things I'm part of and show them to you in YouTube's. It's kind of boasting, but I don't think it's interesting because it shows you how possible it is. If any like young artists that probably shouldn't watch my stuff see it, at least they get the idea of like, don't become a guy like me for starters, but also some like, even though the world and the market for artists has changed so much, basically because of the solely because of the computer and because of the internet, some of the things are still the same. You know, getting cheated and screwed over and stuff. And they made, there's like dolls of things I made, like I designed for other people at their behest. And it's like, they never even sent me one. Like, don't you think you should get sent a couple or something? I don't know, whatever, shit like that. So I should start buying that stuff up and show it to people to substantiate that I ever did anything and to prove to you, to get your, it doesn't matter if you're any good or not. You can see my artwork and decide if it's good or not. It's not the best, but you just throw yourself out there. And if you're willing to do stuff and you don't, you know, it doesn't, you know, before morality catches up to you with age, you know, just take on whatever work you're willing to take on. You can get it because the people who get it are people that go for it. And it's easier now than ever to apply for it. Just have work to show. And, you know, it's so, like I said, so easy now. Just you show people your shit through emails. Here, here's my link to my site, or you send it in text or whatever. So easy. Go to my site. But what about Star Wars? False icons. And then you had artists making their designer vinyls and stuff like that, and all the people that buy licenses. These are icons and images that represent symbols and ideals that are important to people, and that is known by a huge corporation like Disney. So they bought it from, and they said, we will make Star Wars into what they wanted for it. And if that doesn't work, then we'll dismantle it. You see what I mean? Like, they just have it every way they want. And Rian Johnson, I said this before in another video and I'll say it again, he's really sharp. He was really sharp in getting, pretty much, he did everything he wanted. And he did get away with it. You could say, oh, he's not that sharp. No, he kind of really is. He's mean and wicked. That's what you don't like about him. He's willfully cruel and hateful, and that's the wrong kind of person for anybody to be. And yet, some people are like that. And he's somebody who got in a position of power. But if this makes you feel any better about how Star Wars is kind of dead now because he deliberately went to deconstruct it and he killed the icons, like when he sees that the Star Wars stuff is on clearance, he cackles because he knows that he helped kill it in a real big bad way with that Last Jedi. Because you know as well as I do, if you stuck around the 44-minute mark of this video, you know that he wanted it dead and he's happy about it. And I forget where I was originally going with that, but and it was like mission accomplished all around. But did he account? Oh, this is the thing that's supposed to help you sleep better about Rian Johnson. People really do want him. He really did, like, he really did in a very, like, validatable way destroy Star Wars. And so many other, like David Stewart points it out, like a couple people deconstruct like what he did, and like, and then other people show the old video of him saying, I want to make decisive films. Now, Disney saw that before they hired the guy. I may have said this before in another video. So he may be sweating. Like, where's that guy going to hang out? Because Star Wars is part of the fabric of the Western industrialized world. And even in places where Rian Johnson might be going to get a latte or whatever, people might hate on him for making Liam Neeson my $4 and whatever change bitch. Liam Neeson, you're my bitch now. I can bend him over. I can grandma's girl this guy. I can get him to do whatever I want. I mean, I don't want to, you know what I mean? I'm not going to masturbate to a doll. I mean, just mean to humiliate him as a man, as a product, as a dead icon. Star Wars never took for me, okay? It wasn't my religion. I can appreciate it. I did have a whole case full of little monsters and Martians and stuff. I like the monsters from Star Wars. I had a whole case full of them. I like monster toys. I was probably a wicked boy. I didn't beat people or kill cats or any shit like that. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, this is an icon of a failed. It's iconography to people. People make these icons and sell them to each other. They make Star Wars art and paintings. There's a whole cottage industries of Etsy, of people selling, of merchants selling Star Wars things to each other, getting licenses and trying to make a product that's cool enough that a licenser will pick up and make into a product, and they get a cut out of it for inventing the thing. This goes on. This whole catalogs of, like, hey, I went with somebody to a GameStop. I want to call it Electronics Boutique because that's what I remember. A GameStop. I went to a GameStop and all this stuff is clearanced, and I was just looking at all the clearance stuff in the GameStop while they're buying their fucking Lucifer's Dream thing. I'm going to go around and blow up shit in another dimension. Go ahead, asshole, get your Call of Duty. I know, I love you, but it's stupid to play that. So anyway, I'm looking at all the clearance stuff, and I'm like, ooh, look at all these goodies, like all metal Star Trek First Enterprise pizza cutter, and it was heavy. It was like solid metal. It was like a real heavy duty pizza cutter, and the price tag was $24. Now somebody like paid to license that and had them made, and it's kind of like a luxury item, a $24.99 pizza cutter. Who the hell's gonna buy that? So then that was clearance stuff, like half price. Okay, so a $12 pizza cutter. Who bought those? How much money did anyone make anywhere? It just seems like a big cost to make it. How many $25 Star Trek pizza cutters did they sell in a fucking video game shop? Guys are there to spend $60 a pop on fucking stupid video games. But anyway, it was full of Star Wars shit. Okay? So, on clearance. And I was looking for some kind of a Porg or something. I've been looking for Porgs to fuck around with in videos, just for fun, just for kicks, just for stupid videos. Actual time wasters, life wasters. But I didn't find any. I don't think people I don't know where they're going. But, yeah, it's so, like, everywhere people don't care about the Star Wars shit. Yeah, I can't remember if there was anything more I was going to say about that, but that's enough. You get the idea. The icons, the idols, people don't care about them anymore. You can't give it away. You're getting your dollar Ticos or whatever it was that people were talking about here. And Funko Pops. I was in the place that I got this at, and it has all the Funko Pops. Like, some of them are like people's collections that are like brand new, but they're just like fucking piles of. Like I said, you can build Lego houses out of them and stuff. They need this. The hipsters need to start building store displays out of Funko Pops, and just stack them on top of each other. But they can't. If somebody wants to buy one, it's going to make the whole damn thing come down. But that's okay, because instead of waiting on you, you know what they do in the store? They fuck around and play with the toys with each other, while there's a whole line full of goddamn people. Not goddamn. Damn by the stupid douchebag clerk. Whatever. Anyway, so they have Funko Pops in plastic bags, and I'm like, ooh, I'm seeing the Funko Pops. They're piling up like used ones where people threw the boxes away. They had like all these sealed Ziplocs on pegboards, like just scads and rows of them, of just like from everything you could think of. And I was like, is there anything I could use as a prop? And I was like, I can't even look at it. It was like a headache. There was so many Funko Pops, you know, and then there was like not a bin, but like a thing on like a kiosk on a table. And it was just like stuffed like a berry basket full of Funko Pops, with little prices on them. What are you supposed to do with them? Collecting shit. False idols, icons. We're ending the age of false idols and icons. And also, like Disney, I'm just trying to let you know, Disney's deliberately doing it. Like, first, like, go through with all of our agendas, which are switching the roles of genders. It's gender swapping. It's like, make people do things that are unnatural to their, like, thousands of years natures. Like, make women more masculine and have them do the things that we would have men do. And then just have men take a back seat to everything that they would normally do. It's so that men don't want to fight for women, so that men and women don't get together anymore, and women just feel like they can't trust men and don't want to be around men, and so that nobody feels safe to have a family, because nobody knows what kind of world they bring kids into. Mission achieved. And Star Wars are farce. Star Wars are false idols and icons of a dead thing. Who matters? A lot of people don't remember a lot of stuff about the Bible, for example. But what do they always remember? The constants. Jesus, Moses, Mary, some of the apostles, Paul, the devil, the main characters, right? So who do people respect in Star Wars? Not old Qui-Gon here. No, Luke, Leia, Han, the Dark Father, the mentors, the old gay mentor, Alec Guinness, the little imp demon that teaches you the ways of wizardry until you become a black wizard like your father. But don't worry, I'm not going to be an evil wizard that messes with the dark forces. I'm going to be good. And look what happened to Luke Skywalker. He becomes a horrible alcoholic out there on the island, being taken care of by nannies. You know that he pisses his bed out there on Kwato, or whatever that island's called. I don't remember what it's called. Oh, wait a minute. It's called something stupid like from a U2 song. It's also some kind of Kabbalah stuff or whatever. Yeah, whatever. It's Jeddah, whatever it's called. Yeah. Yeah, what's that in reference to? It doesn't matter. Anyway, Star Wars. Yeah, that's what people remember. C-3PO, the gay gold British robot, and the little garbage can multi-purpose toolbot guy. R2-D2, who I like to make joke about as being a little lesbian, you know, handyman thing. That's my pet identity for R2-D2, but that's in my fantasies. R2-D2 is a little toolbot, little multi-purpose thing. Chewbacca is like, what's that story with the man and dog? Vic and Blood or whatever it is, Boy and Dog. It's just a man. Chewbacca is a dog, is your Bigfoot, is a cool hairy Mexican guy with long beautiful hair, is Han Solo is your bad uncle, your dirtbag brother. He does drugs. Han Solo does. Your brother does drugs. No, he goes to Mos Eisley. Everybody that goes there does drugs. You have to do them before you can get in. Yeah, because everybody has weird like butterfly noses and shit that goes in there. They're doing space coke. It's the 70s. Look at Princess Leia's fingernail. It's true. Yeah, Han Solo hangs out with a Jewish princess, and he was her dealer. No, I'm kidding. Okay, enough with the Star Wars. The infinite never. Don't worry, everybody. The Star Wars will never end. Even though George Lucas kind of tried to end it for you. No, not good enough. Now, the idols are dead, and what's left? The main ones, like the main characters. Who do people remember from, Buddha or Hinduism? A couple, Vishnu, and Krishna, and I'm not going to go through the pantheon, but you know what I mean. Everybody knows the same names. I'm trying to name them. I don't know why the hell I'm trying to name them. Shown off. No, I can't name them. I can't remember any of the names. But you know what I mean? All the different religions have their like main people they remember. But really, like all the different stories, all these different characters that matter for different reasons. And Star Wars has taken the place of that, which is the point of me bringing it up. Star Wars has taken the place of all these different pantheon of religious characters and idols. Like, here's the guy that was the Death Star droid, and here's the guy that wore the weird the weird helmet that was the machine gunner, and here's the Emperor's Royal weird Kabbalistic Muslim veiled guards, and all this stuff, and and here's the guy in the elevator, and here's the guy that was sitting at the bar, and here's the guy that was sitting behind him, and here's the little tarantula monster thing, and there's the guy that was the really cool guy that was working for the good guys, but he looked like a weird spider bug caterpillar man thing, and all they're just. Some characters have more meaning than just background characters. Oh, this is the shape-shifting assassin, and this is the bounty hunter, and this is the big fat Italian mafioso guy, Pizza the Hut, and all the characters. Like there's and Watto, the greasy Italian Jew, or the bad. Is he supposed to be a Spanish stereotype? Maybe he's supposed to be like a Spanish conquistador, like some kind of evil Spanish dog character, Watto. Remember him from Phantom Menace, the greasy. I always called him the greasy Italian Jew stereotype. But anyway, and you got the Asian, the traitorous Asian diplomats in the Phantom Menace. Remember, and they talk like Ninja Turtles. Oh yes. Oh no. Where's Master Splinter? We must talk to him and get back to Darth Maul and Darth Sidious and Prentice and all those guys. Anyway, you get the idea. All the different the guy that announced the pod races, all these different dudes, the guy that was against young Anakin, the little guy that walked on his arms. They're all replacements for Jonah and the whale, and David and Goliath, and all that stuff, the lion, all these things. So what do they did it a couple years ago, not a successful Star Wars. They tried to make a Star Wars out of a bastardization of the story of the Bible stories through The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I don't know if you know this, but Aslan is Jesus. C.S. Lewis was, I think, was a Christian Scientist or whatever he called himself, but he was some sect of Christianity, and Aslan is Jesus, and he sacrifices himself on the stone table, and then the evil Jewish witch. I'm just kidding. It has nothing to do with Judaism. Then the evil witch. Well, maybe it's whatever. You know what I mean? The Romans killed Jesus, and then Aslan comes back resurrected. Sound familiar? In Star Wars, the icons are trying to be killed by Disney, and some would say successfully so. And look at Qui-Gon's hands. He's going up. He's got. They need extra heads. I need another head for Qui-Gon to be a smiling Jesus. I don't know. But anyway, Qui-Gon here, because the iconography of Star Wars and all those, oh my God, I'll talk about a little bit more about Star Wars. Just like a minute. Just the little figures, the little 3.5 inchers like the Yoda, all those things. They're cheap too. I was like, oh my God, people used to go out of their minds trying to find this little green guy or a lady with, a red Jabba's dancer with antennas and stuff. And nobody cares. They have these whole little scenarios of weird crest-headed mutants and little titty doll green bitches. And I'm serious. And they get $5, $4, $3. And I'm nobody cares. Nobody cares about Star Wars anymore. And they're brand new. Mint in yellowing packages, never been opened, a kid never laid their hands on them, and 12 inches of Liam Neeson is all mine. 12 inches of Liam is all mine. I'd never do that to the King of Kings. I'm not even joking, not even fronting. But it could be also Noah's Ark. Doesn't it look like Noah? Could be a Noah. Give him a crook. Could be angry Noah. These winds are howling. Wait, I'm not going to make fun of Noah, but a little bit. Look, he's like, hold on to the ship. Ahoy, me hearties. Hold on to the rhinos, or whatever. Hold on to the rhino's horn. Yes, steady, mate. Because the rhino's not going anywhere, right? Unless the rhino rolls around the ship. It's going to mess up. You got to keep giraffes and heavy animals separate. So giraffes fall over, break their necks. You can't have that. But anyway, yeah. Do you get the idea? Do you get the point? False idols, false icons, and the proof is in the clearance aisle. And what's to replace it? Not more Star Wars, probably, because you're not buying it. You don't want it. And that's cool with me. Good. What will replace Star Wars? Let's make new stuff and let the people make it and not let Disney have any money put into it so they don't have any say. How about that? Sound cool? I think it sounds cool. I think it's also a good way to wrap this episode up with my 12 inches of Liam Neeson with long silky hair. He's more manly that way. That's the way I like him. Yeah. Let's see what's going on underneath that belt. I should have showed you, but it's just silly and dumb, so I'm not really going to do that at all. I'm going to put him in my shed and forget about him until I'm like, wait a minute, I got a cold prop. What could I do to make fun of Liam Neeson? Anyway, I think that's episode. So thank you. You're a real champ if you hung in this long in the episode. Thank you very, very, very much. Don't forget to like and subscribe.